Pardon me, dear ma'am.
Ma'am, sir.
Excuse me?
I'm a boy. Not that it matters to any of you big guys on the back row. But what do you care? I'm just a pawn, right?
I'm sorry about that, lad. I wonder if you'd let me pass. It is my move, you know.
Oh, sure. Make way for the knight in his shining armor on his mighty steed. See him jump over the pawns with the greatest of ease.
That's a lovely piece of rhyme. Now, if you don't mind.
Sure, be my guest.
Thank you, kind sir. Here we are, cold and ready to strike.
I bet you are. Off to save the day. Win one for the king. Meanwhile, us pawns are dangled out as bait. Yeah, sent out of the fray as decoys, as lures, expendable down to the last man.
Expendable?
Yeah, that's right, expendable. No one would ever send a knight or a rook into imminent danger. But no one ever thinks a thing about putting a little pawn in the direct line of fire. Pawn steps into the open. Bishop takes pawn. Rook takes bishop. Sacrifice the pawn for the bishop. All in the name of the king.
And what's wrong with that?
Well, did anybody ask me? That's what's wrong with that. Did anybody ask me if I wanted to be sacrificed? Did anyone give me a choice? No. Just dropped out there in the front line with less power than a checker. One space at a time, little pawn. One space at a time.
That's not entirely true. You can take 2 spaces on the first move.
Oh, yes, speeding along to our deaths.
And if you make it to the end, you may very well become queen.
I have about as much chance of that as being struck by lightning.
You know, this isn't about you. We're fighting for king and country.
Yeah. Why can't I be a rook or a bishop? Why can't I ride around the board with a horse?
We all have a role to play in this battle. It's not about who we are as individuals, but how we work together that defines us.
That's easy for you to say. You get a horse. And the rook back there, he's got armored plating. And the bishop, he even has a sword. What do I have?
Just as much a chance of winning the battle as any of us. In the right circumstances, even a pawn can put the enemy in checkmate.
Yeah, that's what the bishop told me in that last game. Right before the white queen went flying across the board and pulverized me.
She's mean, isn't she?
Well, you can deal with her without me. I'm sitting this one out.
What? Where are you going?
I'm leaving the game.
But you haven't been taken out yet.
Well, I'm taking myself out.
You can't go now.
Oh, yeah? Watch me.
The White Queen has me in her sights. If you stay, she can't take me. But if you go, I'll be unprotected. Pawn?
Later.
Pawn, get back here. Please? I'll let you ride my horse in between games. How about that? Pawn? Pawn!
Hey, horseface! What's with your pawn?
He doesn't want to play anymore.
He just left you?
Yes.
Well, that's awful. I feel so bad about taking your spot like this.
You do?
Of course not. Hit the road, and that's how you play chess. Friend.